What is up, everybody? It's Ross Madden. I am just coming at you with a economic prediction. Everyone's talking about the banking crisis going on, and I work for a bank, and that's as specific as I'm going to get. My opinion as far as like the news that's coming out about this, everyone's talking and describing the banking crisis like, oh, it's unprecedented. Oh, this is a big deal. It's like very obvious stuff. Oh, wonder what the Federal Reserve is going to do next. And they're like, everyone's trying to predict things. And the short-term predictions like, oh, this bank's going to fail next. This credit union is insolvent. They're going to fail next. That is, no one's able to predict that right now. And if you are, it's probably because you know about a scheme that's going on. Like, nobody is able to predict when the next bank run or where the next bank run is going to happen. But what is valuable are the long-term predictions. You want to know, where are we going to be in 5 months? Where are we going to be in 10 months? Like, where's the inevitable, like, where's the end of the train tracks? You don't necessarily want to know, like, oh, in the next 5 minutes, is the train going to fall off? You want to know, like, no, once we reach our destination, where are we going to be? And the obvious thing that the central banks want is they want us to be at a central bank digital currency, the CBDC everyone's talking about. And everyone's talking about it like, oh, I'm not doing that. I've got some cash, I got some gold, blah, blah, blah. I'm set. I got some crypto. I don't need central bank digital anything. Like, how are they going to get me on a social credit score? Well, here's how. This is how it happens. This is how the banks get you to accept the central bank digital currency. And the central banker will be, you'll be begging for it. And here's why. Right now, banks are failing, and the FDIC is the backstop, the insurer of the deposits. And they're at first like, oh, we'll insure 100% of deposits. All you guys are fully covered. Don't worry. The bank goes down, and the depositors, they didn't need to do any due diligence. That wasn't a risky bank. That was just a mistake. And they're trying to like make it more confident, make everyone feel more confident. Well, that's short term. That's going to be short lived, because right now it's like, oh, this bank. And then a few days later, it's that bank. And then it's an overseas bank. And right now it's manageable. But at some point, we're going to come to the point where it's 3 banks in 1 week or 5 banks in 1 day. And the FDIC is going to be completely helpless. And we're just going to be like, wait, so you guys covered all of their deposits, most of their deposits, but then now once 5 banks fail in 1 day, you're not covering anything. And they're going to be like, well, how the heck are we supposed to cover 5 banks? Like, how can we, like, we got $100 billion. They've got, each of them has $1 trillion under assets. Like, how are we going to cover 5 banks? Like, so they don't know. And the answer is obviously they can't. Well, the central bank can. The central bank will be like, oh, no. We're not going to let everyone panic and pull their money out of the banks. Your money's going to stay in the bank, for one. And for two, we are going to make sure that you can withdraw your money. Like, you're not going to wake up, because this is what everyone's going to feel like. They felt like they went to bed with $100,000 or whatever they had in their bank account, and they were able to pay their bills, able to fill their refrigerators. And then they wake up the next morning, they go to withdraw, they go to spend their money, and it won't go through. And so they're just like, oh, shoot, I went from $100,000 to $0.00. I went from paying bills to, and I'm broke. And the central bank's going to be like, well, don't worry. The only way we're going to be able to do this is if we put money in your account, and we got you. Don't worry. Don't you worry. You have a problem. You're having a reaction. We've got the solution. We'll put the money in your account. It's always problem, reaction, solution. The Hegelian dialectic, I think they call it. I don't know. The terms don't matter. They always make you react and provide the solution. And so they will give you the money, but they're not just going to give it willy-nilly. No. What about the drug dealers? What about the people that are going to spend that money just like stocking up on guns instead of buying groceries? Oh, no. We have to make sure we monitor every line item that gets spent. You see what's happening? Now we're going to track all the line items so we know who's spending money on what, and we're going to determine whether that is a worthwhile cause of an expenditure. So we're going to provide you the money, but we're going to know what you're spending it on. We're going to let you know whether that's okay. We're going to have a list of things that are not okay specifically. And that is how the central bank digital currency will be brought in. You'll accept it. You'll be like, oh, I thought I was broke, but turns out I'm good. All I have to do is just not buy guns and not buy, these 3 things. And it'll just inch its way, more and more aggressive with the rules and the credit score stuff. But that's not the point. The whole point is, how are you going to accept it? How are they going to go from like, oh, this isn't a thing to, oh, this is a thing that everyone wants? They're going to force it on you. It's not going to be a hidden thing. It's going to be forced. I mean, forced in the way like, oh, you don't have any assets unless you do it. I mean, you're not really forced. Like if you really invested well, if you really removed cash from the system and bought gold and silver and have tradable things and have a network that can provide you food, like for labor. I mean, and you've got labor, I don't know, whatever you've got in order to pay your bills, in order to keep your fridge full, like that's what you need to do. And if you've got that prepared, then you're ready. And if you don't, then you're going to need that central bank digital currency. You're going to need it. You're going to love it. You're going to want it. And that's how you'll accept it. So I hope you guys all have a good day. This is a prediction. So every good prediction has 2 things. It's what's going to happen in a timeline so that you guys can be like, hey, you said this would happen by this day and it didn't. So you're wrong. I'm going to say end of year. End of year, we'll have the week where 5 banks crash, and the FDIC will go insolvent, and the central bank digital currency will save the day. And everyone will love it. Amen. I'm just kidding. But seriously, by the end of the year, what is that? We're almost in April, so we've got 8 months and change. By the end of the year, this will happen. Mark my words. Good luck. Invest well.